highlights of the Nampo 400 off-road race are proudly brought to you by Senves and Barlow World Equipment. A new event on the off-road racing calendar, the Nampo 400, sponsored by Senves and Barlow World Equipment, recently took place in the Bothaville district in the Free State. The event was an invitational race for national championship competitors, as well as a round of the Northwest Off-Road Challenge and the Northern Region Off-Road Championship, and attracted a combined entry of 50 motor vehicles. The event was based at Nampo Park, which annually attracts 60,000 visitors to the Nampo Harvest Day over a 3-day period.
Ons het die voertuig nou onlangs gekoop. Ons het laas naweek die eerste reis met hom gaan ry. Ook maar die ding gaan toets en so aan, wel dit lyk daarom of hy hou. Ek glo dit sal vandag weer met ons goed gaan. Hy hanteer vir my baie beter as die ou wat ek gehad het. Ek is baie tevrede. En ek hoop ons het 'n goeie seisoen vorentoe. Ons beplan om in elk geval net die nasionale kampioenskap te ry. Maar ons gaan maar hierdie naby regionals gaan ons maar 'n bietjie ry om te kyk of die voertuig nie 'n probleem het nie.
The locally designed and constructed Zarco light special vehicles are making inroads, with 6 sold to date.
The Zarco is a locally built car, built by Hendrik Fourie, and he's tried to keep everything as local as possible. The only important things that he's put on the car, stuff that he couldn't really have made locally at the right price. So on my car, I'm running local shocks. Everything is local on the car, and I think the prospects for the car are great. So at Carnival City, we were the fastest Class B car on the first lap by 5 minutes from the next guy. And I mean, it was my first time out in the car, and I was learning to drive the car. So I think it has huge potential. And I think for guys who want to migrate to a Class A car, it's a very cheap way to do it. It's all in with the race car, shocks, combi gearbox, motor. You're looking at about 200,000. So I think it's got huge potential.
Last year's Nampo 200 winner and reigning Class D champion Heinz Probler was one of 8 teams entered in the national championship category.
Jongens, soos ek laas keer ook gesê het, ons kom speel eintlik vir die dag. Ons kom toets. Ons is voorbereiding vir die jaar. Ons hoop ons van hierdie jaar die bakkie beter kry. Ek glo ons het 'n paar veranderings gemaak wat gaan werk. Ons kom speel weer eens. As ons wen is 'n bonus vir ons. Ons kom geniet onsself net.
Harrismith-based Dirk van Reenen has moved from Class T to Class E this season.
Ja, nee, dit was nogal 'n groot besluit geweest om van T-klas af na E-klas toe te gaan en voort. Maar ons is positief hierdie jaar vir E-klas. Ek kry die support van voort af. En dit was 'n groot besluit. Maar gister het dit goed gegaan en ek is seker hierdie jaar gaan dit baie goed gaan. In die E-klas. Is 'n bietjie anders met die diesel as in die T-klas, maar ons gaan uit Toyota se ding of 2 wys hierdie jaar.
Class E promises to be one of the most closely fought championships this season, and much the same can be said for Class A, where Mark Corbett is one of the main contenders.
Let me just come out here to have a good test before the season starts for the off-road and for the nationals, and I hope we do well. We're going to have some fun.
And the car condition?
The car's been rebuilt over the quiet period, over Christmas and New Year, so we hopefully it goes well. This is basically a shakedown for us.
The prologue for national championship competitors was won by Hannes Steyn and Okkie Fourie, who set a blistering pace in the ex-Mark Corbett Isuzu.
Ons gaan probeer om voor te bly. Ek weet nie of dit so maklik gaan wees nie. Maar ons het gister het ons goeie tandtraal gehad en ons het gister voorgebly. So ek weet nie, ons het 'n kans om voor te bly vandag. Ons hoop net die bakkie hou. En dan sal ons maar kyk wat gebeur.
En hoe is die roete omstandighede?
Die roete is baie lekker, is baie sand. En op plekke is daar 'n bietjie diep spore, maar die res van die roete is redelik vinnig. Dus ek dink dit sal 'n lekker reis wees.
Steyn wasted no time in opening a good gap on the chasing pack. The sandy conditions were similar to those encountered on the Toyota 1000 in Botswana and would place a strain on gearboxes. Steyn will swap his trusty Toyota Hilux KZTE for the Isuzu in this year's national championship. Heinz Probler and Charles Vormerans were next away in one of 3 GBS Racing Nissan hardbody pickups which will be campaigned in Class D this season. Probler and regular co-driver Gerard Prinsloo, who was away on a diving expedition, are the reigning Class D champions and are confident that they can win the title for a 3rd time. GBS GBS Racing teammates Johan Gerber and Kutsia Labaskachny qualified third fastest in the prologue. Interestingly, the pair annually take turns to drive, with this year being Gerber's stint behind the wheel of the Class D Challenger. Kirstein and René Jooster were the only national championship entry in the special vehicle category and were using the Nampo 400 to test the Atlas Copco bat in preparation for the season opening Nissan Dealer 400 in Darling. Oops, a lack of concentration there. The diesel-powered Class E Ford Rangers have proven to be very quick and a match for the Toyota and Nissan derivatives. Dirk van Renen is a hard charger, and provided he conserves the vehicle, he can be relied upon to pull off some class wins this season, and who knows, the odd podium finish or two. Hartswater-based husband and wife crew, JP and Linda Augustine, were dogged by minor problems last season and were hoping for a change of fortune after acquiring the GBS Racing Nissan from MC Kutsia, who is concentrating on his farming activities this year. Thomas Rundle and Rossi Erasmus were the next Class E crew away in the Baden Tyre Services Toyota. Mark Corbett and Gavin Kelsey missed the prologue on Friday and had to start at the back of the field, but they would soon make up time in the Audi V8-powered Century Property Developments bat. Lichtenberg 200 winners Hein Mullman and Cecil Fincham led the regional championship field away in the ex-Kasi Kutsia Castrol Toyota Hilux KZTE. Four-wheel drive was a distinct advantage in the sandy conditions, and they would soon make light work of Gareth Walk in the Super Pave Mighty Mag. Barberspond farmer Jannie Visser and Jocks LaRue were leading Class T in the ex-Kasi Kutsia Toyota Hilux that is affectionately known as Fred. Father and son, Alfred and Tommy van Vieren, were runners-up in the production vehicle category in the Lichtenberg 200 and were hoping for a win in the Class D Nissan hardbody. Kirstein and Jooster were having a good run in the Atlas Copco bat, which had an intermittent misfire that appeared to be caused by a faulty fuel pump. Johan Mitchell and Willem Reuter were the early Class C leaders in the Rustenburg engine-powered Sandmaster that was battling in the thick sand, while championship contenders Arthur Tappach and Gallo van der Merwe had no such problems in the two-wheel drive Nissan. Jaco Smit and Jannie Muller were on a charge in the Class D Rustenburg engine rebuilders Colt Rodeo, which was formerly part of a two-car Mitsubishi factory entry. Race leaders Steyn and Fourie had lost the front bumper and damaged the bodywork on the Isuzu after making contact with a concealed fence post. Having the bonnet flapping around in the wind didn't help visibility, especially for co-driver Fourie. Krobler and Vormerans were second in the GBS Racing Nissan and closing in on Steyn and Fourie. The Isuzu's dust trail was clearly visible, and the chase was now on. Gerber and Labaskachny were third in the GBS Racing Nissan hardbody and well placed to take advantage of any mistake on the part of the race leaders and their teammates. Despite the intermittent misfire in the Atlas Copco bat, Kirstein and Jooster were able to maintain a steady pace and hold on to the special vehicle lead. Former owner of the bat, Clint Gibson, proved just how competitive the car is when he won Class B on 3 successive occasions in 2003. Dirk van Renen and Ian Palmer had moved up to 4th and were the Class E leaders in the ex-Zane Pierce Ford Ranger. GS racing pair, JP and Linda Augustine, were getting to grips with their newly acquired Nissan hardbody and making up some ground on the production vehicle frontrunners. Transport of a different kind. Toyota Dealer 400 winner Mark Corbett and Gavin Kelsey were on a charge in the Century Property Development's bat and gaining time on special vehicle category leaders Kirstein and Jooster. They couldn't afford to let up their pace because Gareth Walk was within striking distance in the 2-litre powered Super Pave Mighty Mag. Moolman and Fincham are expected to pose a great threat to the established crews in this year's Class E Championship battle. Fincham is a veteran driver, and under his mentorship, the young Moolman has developed into a highly polished driver. Husband and wife, Gey and Caroline Jooster, were the Class A leaders in the regional championship section of the Nampo 400. The couple started racing the Atlas Copco Sandmaster last season. Off-road racing is certainly a family affair, with brothers, sisters, uncles, nephews, husbands and wives and fathers and sons like Alfred and Tommy van Vieren racing together. Father Alfred is a 2-time production vehicle champion and has always had a penchant for buckies. The Nissan is his latest acquisition to be used exclusively on regional events, while the Class T Roger Taylor-built Toyota Hilux will be campaigned in the National Championship. Barlow World Equipment, proud sponsors of the Nampo 400. Barlow World Equipment, proud sponsors of the Nampo